I did not think I would find an episode of this show that was worse than Volpina. I didn't think it was even remotely possible, this far in. But no. I found an episode that's worse. I found an episode that is unredeemable. I have found an episode that is so anger-inducing, frustrating, and rage-inducing that as soon as I was done watching it, there was much profanity thrown. Now, I'm not going to do it in this review because I saved the 14 plus stuff for the movies and stuff that get me really angry. This is not worth even that, because regardless of what word comes out of my mouth, whether it's profanity or otherwise, cannot do justice to the absolute flaming train wreck that this episode truly is. It is not an episode. It is 21 minutes of absolute torture. Of all the worst things in this show are all in this episode. Aside from Chloe, we got spared from that. If Chloe was in it, it'd probably be a 0. But, I did not think episode of Miraculous would ever drop this low again. But, here we are. So, let's just get it over with. What's up? What's happening? What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to Animation Station, your number one suggestion for anything and everything animation. I'm your host, Jackson Small. Welcome to the absolute sorry excuse of an episode that is Season 4, Episode 6, Furious Foo. More like Furious Fail. I don't even know where to start. I don't even know how to remotely describe to you how much this episode sucks. So, all I can really do is just go straight into the written review, and maybe, just maybe, add a few things towards the end. Here's the written review. This episode's trash, but I hope you enjoy this anyway. While I had my problems with the previous episode, it was at least watchable. This one, on the other hand, is a frustrating trash fire of poor writing and one of the absolute worst characters in the entire franchise, the Celestial Guardian. And I'm gonna call him that because I do not care enough to actually call him by his name. All this aggravating little turd does this entire episode is yell, whine, complain, and insult Fu. Which is not only beyond infuriating, but it's just utterly lazy, as it's used as a substitute for actual character. This character has no character. All he does is whine and complain throughout the entire episode. And it gets very aggravating very quickly. Even in the fight scenes against the akumatized former Master Fu, with the Miracle Box in danger of getting stolen by this akumatized villain in front of his face, he still does nothing but get in the way of Ladybug and Cat Noir the entire episode, meaning that the two of them have to work around this turd to actually fight the person they're supposed to be fighting. Why? Screw this character, he's garbage. And unfortunately, the rest of the episode isn't much better. The akumatized Fu is a complete waste of a good idea. Like, think about it, an akumatized Master Fu. How cool would that be? Except it amounts to nothing. It has a cool idea, this guy that can draw anything and bring it to life or make it happen. But here's the problem. We already did this in Illustrator. We've already done this. So, this is nothing new. It's a recycled plot idea used on what could have been a really cool concept. Massive fail. The writing is atrocious because, like I said, most of this episode is just spent on this one annoying Celestial Guardian that does absolutely nothing. The entire episode. The pacing's way too fast. It doesn't let any scene sit for even a minute. The ending is lame. It is that that ending that tries to say, oh, it's all okay if it's all happy and sunshine and rainbows at the end, right? No. Most episodes that pull this crap don't work. And that ending is only a bigger reason why it doesn't work. The action sucks. This is some of the weakest and worst fighting in the entire series. And almost all the way through, it did nothing but piss me off. Like I said, when I was done watching this episode, I had to take at least 5 minutes before I could record or write anything to scream and yell out profanity. Because this episode is so aggravating and, dare I say, unwatchable. Sure, the opening scene with Marinette reuniting with Fu and his beloved is nice and all. Like, that whole first opening starts out perfectly fine enough. But then, immediately after that, it nosedives off a cliff. The second Marinette goes home and meets this horrible, terrible character, it all nosedives off a cliff. And not even Cat Noir, a character that is known for his wisecracks and good jokes that are able to mostly make some things tolerable, even he cannot save this episode, as he's given some of the weakest and worst jokes I have heard out of this character in the entire show. And yes, I know that is saying a lot because he has a lot of bad lines. Not since Volpina has an episode of this show made me this angry, and I was hoping it would never sink that low again. Yet, here we are, with a sorry excuse of an episode that honestly might be even worse. Hate, loathe, despise, whatever terminology you wish to use. Point is, this is the worst episode I've seen out of this entirety show up to this point. Like, up to the entirety of the show, up to what I've seen so far, this is the worst episode that I have seen of the entire show. Not joking. And I implore all of you to stay far away from it. Not that one little bit in the beginning is enough to save this absolute trash fire. It is a terrible episode, it is a garbage episode, it is an awful episode, it is an unwatchable episode. And you may be saying, oh, you're taking it too seriously. This is obviously for kids. Shut up. Stop using that as a freaking excuse. I'm tired of it. I am tired of people using that excuse for animation. Like, oh, it's all just for kids, so that doesn't mean we have to put in effort. Kids deserve respect, you freaking turds. They deserve better. They deserve quality, not this half-efforted crap. And because of that, my final verdict for this sorry, terrible, awfully written, torturous episode is the series' first ever, and hopefully last, 1 out of 10. 1. Trash, garbage, dumpster fire. Do not watch it. And no, don't use the "it's made for kids" excuse, because that just makes you look like an asshole. Okay? Just because something is animated and targeted at kids does not give anyone an excuse to half-effort anything. That's it. That's all I've got. Thank you so much for watching. Hope and pray we never find an episode this bad in this show ever again. And I'm gonna go rinse my brain out with something good for a change. So, until next review, have a great day. Thanks for watching. See you next time. Excited for what comes up ahead. Hey.